Hey everyone, Scott with Scottman. We're here to do a drive video today. We are over here on Highway 131. We're in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area, and we're going to be heading north on 131 today, going from I-94 in the Kalamazoo area, and we'll head all the way up to M-6 up in the Grand Rapids metropolitan area. So we should have a nice drive, although we got very heavy traffic right now, like in both lanes. But yeah, it should be a nice but hot day today here in the western part of Michigan. That coming over here from the Metro Detroit area, it's been very cloudy for the most part, but as you can tell, it's like things are starting to clear up once you get to this part of the state. Yeah, I can see why people are going so slow right now. They're trying to get around this truck like everybody is. So you got the people who are going slower than the speed limit trying to pass the truck. Yeah, now it's picking up. But yeah, I've not really filmed videos on 131 before. I may have done an old one in downtown Grand Rapids that I probably would replace at some point, but I figure since I'm heading out to the Grand Rapids area today, it's like, why not take this little alternative route and film this video today? So it's like, yeah, in the state of Michigan, you got a lot of big highways which run north and south through the state of Michigan. Highway 131 is one of them, which is more in the western side of the state. Because as you look at the state of Michigan, it's like you got I-75, you got 23, you got 127, you got 131, which is what we're on right now, and then there's Highway 31. That's pretty much runs parallel with Lake Michigan the entire time, with the exception of the St. Joseph Expressway, or whatever it's called, that's between like Benton Harbor going all the way down to Indiana. So yeah, 131 is like 99% in Michigan, because there's a tiny part that goes into Indiana briefly before it ends at the Indiana toll road. So it pretty much starts from there and it goes all the way up to Petoskey, Michigan. So yeah, so 131 is primarily, it's mostly a good majority of it is a freeway. It's a freeway between like the Portage, Michigan area, which is the next little city immediately south of Kalamazoo. It's part of the Kalamazoo like Portage area, and it goes all the way north up to Manton, Michigan, which is a smaller city, or a smaller city that's just the north of Cadillac. And then going north of there, or going south of Portage, Michigan, then 131 is just a regular highway. It's not a freeway. So for this video, yeah, this will be all freeway. And it appears the exit for M43. So you take M43 west, that'll take you out to South Haven. And then M43 east will take it into downtown Kalamazoo, and then it starts heading north a ways up toward Hastings, and then it heads back to the east toward Lansing. But yeah, it's like I've been trying to make the initiative to try to come out to this area more often. At least, well, referring to the western side of the state. Because yeah, there's a lot of stuff I have yet to show out in this area, and heck, I know one of my followers has been wanting to try to do like a meetup with me, like out in the western part of the state, because I think he lives out. I keep forgetting the town he lives in, but I think it's between here and like Lake Michigan coast and the southwestern part of the state. But yeah, at some point, yeah, it'd be cool to try to do like a meetup. I don't know if it'd be on camera or anything like that, but even like for like a lunch or something. So yeah, I still need to plan that. Which thankfully shouldn't be too difficult, since it's only a couple hours or so for the Metro Detroit area. But yeah, the 131 freeway I've not really been on. Actually, this part I've not been on at all before. This is my first time on this stretch. Because since I live in the eastern part of the state, I usually degrees Fahrenheit. Convert that to Celsius, it's just shy of 23 degrees. So it's not too bad out right now, but yeah, it's going to be a hot one today. I think in Grand Rapids it's supposed to get to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Or like close to a little over 32 degrees. But it is officially summer now, and I'm filming this in late June, so it's not unusual to see weather like that. 8 miles to Plainwell, and then 45 miles to Grand Rapids. So we got a little bit of a ways to go, but this video is not going to be insanely long or anything. Because, yeah, thankfully I don't think we're going to be seeing any construction projects along this highway today. So it should be smooth sailing. And yeah, as a matter of fact, it'll be out by the time this video goes up, but it's you have to record it. But I'm actually a guest on will be a guest on a podcast called Preservation Oaks. I think I got the name right. If not, I'll put like a little note in the bottom of the video. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting podcast. Like yeah, they're very, very professional. Like I've been really impressed with the way they do their podcast, how they plan everything out. It's really, really impressive. And it's like, yeah, it's like they have a lot of shows like talking about like a lot of historical stuff where they talk about different, like the history of different cities, which is really fascinating. And I was invited on there to talk about my YouTube channel and all the travel stuff. Since with my travels, of course, yeah, I always like to go out to different places, showing cool things, show you different things of what a different city or location or park has to offer. So that way, if you're planning a trip there, it'll help you plan something like that. And of course, at the same time, if I can talk, same time too, can be a distraction from the craziness that's always going on in the world. Which is why I always keep saying, yeah, turn off the media, because it's not doing any good. But of course, when I go off to different destinations, different cities, countries, states, etc., it's like I'm always talking about like all the different things, cool things to see and do, and of course providing a little bit of history in there as well too, and of course talking about the food. Because when you travel, you have to have some good food after all. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. It's like not only the episode that I appear on as a guest, but even like their podcast in general too. It's like, yeah, I'll post a link to them. Although I may have mentioned something on my social media by now though. But yeah, definitely, not only check out the podcast episode itself that has me in it, but yeah, check out their podcast in general too. Yeah, they're professionally done. Like I'm really, really impressed by them. But yeah, as we speak, yeah, I'm getting ready to plan a road trip, like a mini road trip to northeast Wisconsin. The reason why I say mini is because it's a lot smaller and shorter compared to the road trip I did to Massachusetts back in April, because that was all the way to the northeast, well, all the way to New England. Where with this trip, I'm just going to Wisconsin. But yeah, it's like, I know I've been talking about a lot of my driving videos, but it's like I always like to mention about some upcoming travels that I'm doing. Although it's like the funny thing is, like when I'm mentioning about upcoming travels, by the time these videos go up, they usually happen already, unless I'm talking about something that's way off in the future. So yeah, been a couple miles from here. We should be coming up to the exit for Plainwell and also for Allegan. I remember in early 2021, March 2021, I got to check out both Plainwell and Allegan. Speaking of Allegan, we're entering Allegan County, just getting out of Kalamazoo County. Anyway, so I filmed a video in both Allegan and Plainwell. So I remember first going to Allegan Allegan, which is basically going to the west on M89 from the Plainwell area, because we're coming into Plainwell now. But yeah, Allegan's further to the west, and then from Allegan you can either continue to the northwest up toward Holland, or you can go due west toward Fenville, which Fenville is the next community to the west of Allegan. That's almost to Highway 31, I-196, going over toward Lake Michigan. And then the city of Plainwell we're like in the western end of it right now. Like if you get off this upcoming exit for M89, you'll go right into downtown Plainwell, which I remember both communities being really, really nice. I don't think I've eaten at a restaurant in Plainwell yet, because I think when I had lunch that one day, I think I ate in Allegan. So I did that before driving east back over to this area, going over to Plainwell. Yeah, they're both nice communities. Yeah, definitely worth checking them out. Like, that's the cool thing about Michigan. Michigan has so many beautiful communities. Oh, back to that in a second. Yeah, so we're going over the Kalamazoo River now. Anyway, so that's the cool thing about Michigan. There are so many beautiful communities all throughout the state. Like, doesn't matter which part of the state you're in. It could be southwest Michigan, it could be southeast Michigan, north Michigan. Like, they all have their own unique character to them. They got all different shops, restaurants, and different things which bring people in, whether it's for business or for pleasure. It's like you name it. I think that just goes into the Kalamazoo River, because the Kalamazoo River is like the much larger river in this area. Yep, the Kalamazoo River was one of the many rivers which flow west toward Lake Michigan. So you have the Kalamazoo River, and then further to the south you have the St. Joseph River, and then heading to the north, and of course you got the Grand River, you got the Pere Marquette River, the Muskegon River, and the Manistee River. Like, I'm just naming some of the larger rivers in the state of Michigan, with of course the Grand River being the longest river in the state of Michigan. Yeah, it's so nice to see the sun coming out. Well, heck, if I would have stayed in the Metro Detroit area, I'd be seeing possible rain chances today. Because I think there's like an area of low pressure. I think that's over either Ontario, well, eastern Ontario, like kind of like Toronto and that area. I don't mean like northern Ontario when you go up to like the Sudbury and Thunder Bay and like that part. Because Ontario is huge. If you look at the map of the United States and Canada, it's like, heck, Ontario is bigger than Texas. It's like, yeah, if you're driving in Canada from like Toronto and you're going all the way to West Canada, let's say you're driving from Toronto to Calgary, it's not a short drive by any means. I personally have not done it or anything like that, but yeah, it's definitely a journey. It's like, if you don't believe me, ask my friend Kelsey. She did that a couple years ago when she was moving from the Toronto area to Western Canada. So it's like, yeah, it's a long drive. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, like I think there's an area of low pressure that's either over like Lake Erie area or like Ohio or Pennsylvania, Western New York showers as far west as like eastern Michigan. Because yeah, it's like as I'm driving right now, if I look back to or look out to the east, lots of clouds. Look out to the west, which is to my left, I'm seeing abundant sunshine and like blue skies. So I picked a great day to head out to the western side of the state. And this exit here is M222, and you take that west. That'll take you over into Allegan. So if you're coming from Grand Rapids and you want to go to Allegan, you're going to want to get off at this exit here and then go due west, because M89, that from Plainwell, it goes more to the northwest toward Allegan. Yeah, with us getting in the sunshine, like brighter sunshine, now it's going to get starting to get hot, but thankfully the humidity is going to be lower in this side of the state than it is back in Detroit. But yeah, once I get up to the Grand Rapids area, there's a couple of restaurants I'm planning to go to. I was originally just planning to film, just make like Instagram/TikTok reels or something. But as I was thinking last night, I was like, I could consider doing a second restaurant tour of Grand Rapids, because I did a restaurant tour of Grand Rapids last year when I spent a weekend in the Grand Rapids area. So I got to go to a few different nice places, but this time maybe film 4 more restaurants, but I'm only going for the day. I'm not staying for the weekend, so I'll have to make some more trips out to Grand Rapids later this year to try to film like another restaurant tour. Or I'll be going to 2 restaurants today and then maybe go to 2 more like later in the summer or something. Because yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, one of my nieces is getting married in late September, and the wedding is in Grand Rapids, or the Grand Rapids area, so it'll give me an opportunity to go to another restaurant before the wedding. Because it's like, yeah, it's like you know me, I'm the Scottman. I like to do all the different travels and all that, and it's like if I'm in a destination, it's like I got to make the most of it, because I'm the type of guy. It's like, yeah, because like the wedding's not till like the middle of the afternoon, so it's like gives me time to do stuff in the morning and then have a nice lunch, and then I go back to the hotel and take a shower and get dressed up for the wedding. It's like, why not? It's like I'm only 35 years old, so I still got a lot of energy in me. Especially when travel's involved. It's like I'm always like, all right, let's go. Okay, so one thing I will say really quick is that the stretch of 131 between Grand Rapids and the exit for M222, this stretch I have been on before, but only once. That was when I was coming from the Grand Rapids area to film the Allegan and Plainwell video. And then, yep, so this exit here for 124th Avenue, yeah, this is the exit for Shelbyville, which I'm sure Springfield and North Haverbrook got to be pretty close by. No, I'm kidding. If you don't know the reference, that's a reference to The Simpsons, because like the show The Simpsons, it's set in the fictional city of Springfield, and there's like neighboring cities to Springfield, which are kind of like rivals a little bit. There's a city called Shelbyville. There's also North Haverbrook, Ogdenville. They're mentioned in the show, so it's like it's a little nod to The Simpsons I just did back there. So as you can tell, I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. Although I don't really watch any of the newer episodes. I've mainly just seen like all the older ones, like definitely all the early seasons from season 1 through, I think, for sure 10, 11, 12, and 13. Those are all ones I generally have seen. And then the ones that came out in the 2000s, like the first decade of the 21st century, I've seen probably not all of them, but quite a bit of them. And then once we got to the 2010s, then maybe a select few, just because I'm a lot busier, and of course not only with work, but also of course all the travel. So it's like I don't really watch a whole lot. But I will agree with a lot of the longtime Simpsons fans that like the older episodes are definitely a lot better. Which I think a lot of people for shows like that or Family Guy, like a lot of them will say the same thing. It's like all the early seasons are better. Oh yeah, I remember going to Yankee Springs Recreation Area. It was like several years ago. I keep forgetting about that park. But it was a nice park. I remember going there again, as I was saying, several years ago. Now I got a bigger attraction over here. We got the Gun Lake Casino. Oh yeah, it's like now we're in the big time sunshine. My heart thermometers has gone up, not big time, but it's gone up a little bit since I started this video. Now it's saying 78 degrees Fahrenheit, so we're just over 25 degrees Celsius. So it is going to be a warm day today. And then, yeah, while I'm in the Grand Rapids area, I'll check out some different things. And I might try to do another drive video too out in the area. Probably not in Grand Rapids per se. What I mean is maybe I'm considering doing a video on M45 West, which goes west out of Grand Rapids, going out toward where Grand Valley State University is. Because I've always wanted to go over to that area, but I've never have done so. So I'm considering doing that as a second drive video today. Because, like, yeah, it's like I've been all around Michigan, of course, with all these travels, but there's still a lot to Michigan I have yet to see. And it's like the crazy thing is Michigan is not even the largest state. I don't even think it's in the top 10, or if it is, it's like at the very bottom. And I'm just talking about land area. I don't talk about like any of the areas of the Great Lakes, which is part of Michigan. Like, because when it comes to the overall area of Michigan, it's not only the Lower Peninsula and the Upper Peninsula, but it's also areas of like Lake Michigan and Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, not Lake Ontario, Lake Huron and Lake Superior, and also like Lake St. Clair too, because Lake St. Clair is not a great lake, but it's still like on the border between the United States and Canada. We still got a little bit of a ways to go. Although it's like, yeah, in this video I'm not going all the way to Grand Rapids. Off camera, yes, but yeah, in this video I'm only going to M-6. Yeah, so far this has been a pretty nice drive. Over here we have the Rabbit River. This is another smaller river, which I'm pretty sure just flows into one of the larger rivers. I don't think the Rabbit River itself goes to Lake Michigan. It's a part of Lake Michigan watershed, so it eventually heads out in that direction. But I believe it goes into a larger river first. I'm like 90% sure on that. As I was saying, yeah, I'm trying to get out to more of the other parts of Michigan throughout the year. Just because I can only do so much in the eastern side of the state. But yeah, Grand Rapids though, I've not been back to Grand Rapids since early May when I went out to Holland when I got to check out the Tulip Time Festival finally for the first time ever. Which yeah, for that I made it a weekend trip because I wanted to get to Holland early in the morning so that way I could beat the traffic, and I'm so glad I did because 2 hours after I got into Holland, the morning I was there, that's when everybody started to come rolling in. So like now I was able to find a really nice parking spot, but I was able to enjoy some peace and quiet for the first couple hours before things got a little bit more crazy in terms of all the people. It's like now the next big festival I need to check out is the International Cherry Festival, or the Cherry Festival, which happens up in Traverse City every July. But I know that can get quite crazy as well too, and I'll be honest with you, the only way I'd probably be able to check that out, yeah, when it comes to staying in a hotel, I probably would have to stay. I'd have to go to the festival during the week because the weekend would be insanely crowded. Because Traverse City itself, outside of the Cherry Festival, on the weekend, the summer, it's really busy. And when there's a festival going on, it's even crazier. So it's like even on the weekends, it'd be really, really expensive to even get a hotel, even probably in Manistee or Frankfort, Michigan, or even Gaylord too, or Petoskey. It's like it'd be outrageous. Or I could do it like a day trip, but I probably have to beat the crowds up there. I probably would have to leave my house like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then to enjoy the entire day, probably wouldn't get back to like midnight. So it'd be a super duper long day. So yeah, I'd have to think about that one before I would consider going to the Cherry Festival. I do need to check it out though. I'm sure it'd be pretty cool to experience at least once. Won't be this year though because I got a lot of plans for the month of July. So like when the whole Cherry Festival's going on, I got other plans already. And then it's like, yeah, there's been a lot of events that have been going on in the state of Michigan too. It's like, yeah, at the beginning of June, like Detroit had the Detroit Grand Prix, which, yeah, for the longest time has been in Belle Isle, but this year they moved it to downtown Detroit, so that brought a lot of people in. And then, like, next year, the NFL draft is going to be hosted in Detroit, so that's going to bring a lot of people in as well, too. So yeah, we're now starting to get into, we're not quite in the Grand Rapids metro area yet, but we're getting close because yeah, we're now entering Kent County, which Kent County is basically home to Grand Rapids. Which yeah, I believe yeah, Kent County is the most populous county in western Michigan. Because again, Grand Rapids is the second largest city. This exit here, if you go to the east, that'll take you out toward Caledonia, which is a nice little community that's to the southeast of Grand Rapids. I remember going there 2 years ago. So yeah, even in 2021, like the first half of the year, I did quite a bit of stuff on the western side of the state. to be, it's like a hidden Interstate 296 or something. That's supposed to be between 196 and I-96. I don't know much about that, but yeah, there's always a possibility someday that 131 between I-94 and I-96 could become an interstate. Or heck, they could even increase it going up toward Cadillac, but I don't know about that one. It's hard to say. So we got like, I'd say like another like 3 miles or so to go. So we're getting close to M6. So I would say we're slowly starting to get into the southern part of the Grand Rapids metropolitan area. Oh yeah, definitely. Because we have, yeah, I'm already starting to see exit signs for the Gerald Ford International Airport, which is the main airport in Grand Rapids. Because you can get to that from the exit for M6 going east toward Lansing. Yep, man, about another mile we got the exit for M6 approaching. So we're getting close to the end of this recording here. So M6 is like the freeway bypass of Grand Rapids, which runs south of Grand Rapids. It's a nice little shortcut to get around Grand Rapids if you're going east toward Lansing and eventually to the east side of the state, or if you're going west toward Holland. So the exit itself is right here, but it's like a collector lane. So I hope you enjoyed this video here on Highway 131 North as we've gone from I-94 in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area all the way to M6 just south of Grand Rapids. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video is live. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scottman895 here from the Grand Rapids metropolitan area here in western Michigan.